Dear ladies and gentlemen, life is not a question waiting for an answer, it's a phenomenon to be lived, explored, and celebrated. When we ask, what is the purpose of life? We are essentially asking what will give our existence meaning. But perhaps the better question is, how can I live this life so fully that purpose becomes irrelevant? If you look at nature, trees don't sit around wondering, what is my purpose? They simply grow, flower, and bear fruit. Life's intelligence flows naturally through them. The same intelligence is within us. The only thing holding us back from experiencing this fullness is the limitations of our thoughts and emotions. The first step toward finding purpose is recognizing that life is a gift, a canvas of endless possibilities. Yet, many of us approach life as if it were a problem to be solved. We wake up each day trying to fix something, our relationships, our finances, our careers, or even ourselves. There is this constant nagging thought that things aren't quite right and that once we fix them, we'll finally be able to live fully. But this mindset is fundamentally flawed. Life is not something to be fixed or conquered. It is something to be lived, moment by moment. Take a simple example from nature. Have you ever seen a flower questioning its existence? Does a bird stop mid-flight, wondering if it's on the right path in life? Of course not. Nature simply unfolds without resistance or doubt. Trees grow, rivers flow, and animals live their lives without the mental baggage of needing a grand purpose. This doesn't mean they are insignificant. On the contrary, each element in nature plays a vital role in the ecosystem, contributing to the beautiful balance of life. So, why are we as human beings so obsessed with purpose? It is because we have been conditioned to believe that happiness and fulfillment lie somewhere in the future, contingent upon achieving some elusive goal. From a young age, we are bombarded with questions. What do you want to be when you grow up? What is your life goal? Have you found your calling? These questions, though seemingly innocent, plant the idea that life is incomplete until we find this magical purpose. But here's the truth. Life itself is the purpose. The very fact that you are alive, breathing, and capable of experiencing this world is the ultimate gift. Instead of searching for some grand mission, why not shift your focus to how you can engage deeply with each moment? When you wake up in the morning, feel the warmth of the sun on your face. When you eat, savor every bite. When you interact with others, be fully present and attentive. These simple acts, when done with awareness, bring a richness to life that no external achievement can match. It's important to understand that purpose is not a destination, it's a way of being. Imagine climbing a mountain. If your sole focus is on reaching the summit, you will miss the beauty of the journey, the cool breeze, the songs of birds, the breathtaking views along the way. And what happens when you finally reach the top? Sure, there may be a moment of triumph, but it is fleeting. Soon you'll be looking for the next peak to conquer. But if you walk up that mountain with curiosity and appreciation, every step becomes meaningful. The journey itself becomes the purpose. Our obsession with defining purpose often leads to frustration and disappointment. We set rigid expectations for ourselves, and when life takes unexpected turns, we feel lost. But here's the beautiful part. When you see life as a canvas of endless possibilities, every moment becomes an opportunity to create something new. You are not confined by a single script. You are the artist, free to paint your life in whatever colors you choose. Think about the most memorable experiences in your life. Were they meticulously planned, or did they happen spontaneously? Perhaps it was a conversation with a stranger that changed your perspective, or a sudden decision that led to an unforgettable adventure. These moments remind us that life is most beautiful when we surrender our need for control and simply allow ourselves to experience it fully. Ultimately, living without the constant quest for purpose doesn't mean living without direction. It means being open to the natural flow of life and trusting that meaning will emerge organically. You don't need to have all the answers right now, just live, breathe, explore, and engage with the world around you. In doing so, you'll discover that life itself is the greatest purpose of all. When you engage deeply with life, purpose doesn't come from the outside, it emerges naturally from within. The very act of living with attention, intention, and openness becomes the source of profound meaning. The search for a predefined purpose often leads people down a path of external validation, where achievements, accolades, and societal expectations dictate their sense of worth. But this pursuit, though it may yield temporary satisfaction, rarely fills the deeper longing for fulfillment. True purpose is not a trophy to be won, it's a flame that is ignited by living fully and authentically. Imagine a musician lost in the music they are creating. In that moment, they aren't thinking about whether their song will top the charts or win awards. They are simply immersed in the joy of creation, allowing the music to flow through them. The experience itself becomes meaningful, and it is through this immersion that their artistry finds purpose. This example isn't limited to artists. A teacher who deeply connects with their students, a scientist passionately seeking answers, or even a parent nurturing their child can all find purpose through deep engagement in what they do. The problem many people face is that they live on autopilot, going through the motions without truly being present. They wake up, go to work, come home, and repeat the cycle, all while waiting for some magical moment when their real purpose will be revealed. But life doesn't work that way. Purpose isn't something you stumble upon. It unfolds naturally when you are fully invested in the present moment. Think of a gardener tending to their plants. If they are distracted or indifferent, their garden will likely wither. But when they care for each plant with attention and love, the garden flourishes. The same principle applies to life. When you give your full energy and presence to your work, relationships, and passions, life responds by revealing deeper layers of meaning. One of the reasons people struggle to find purpose is because they are looking for something grand and monumental. They believe that purpose has to be tied to a life-changing mission or a world-renowned achievement, but this is a misconception. Purpose often resides in the small, seemingly insignificant moments of everyday life. It's in the way you greet a stranger, the laughter you share with a friend, or the quiet moments of reflection. These simple experiences, when lived fully, weave together to create a life rich with meaning. Another aspect to consider is the dynamic nature of purpose. It is not a fixed destination that you reach and stay at forever. As you grow and evolve, your sense of purpose will naturally shift. What felt meaningful in your 20s may no longer resonate in your 40s. This is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of growth. Just as a river changes course over time, your life will flow in different directions. The key is to remain open and adaptable, allowing your purpose to evolve organically. It's also important to recognize that perfection is not about perfection. Many people hold themselves back because they believe they must have everything figured out before they can live purposefully. They wait for the perfect job, the perfect relationship, or the perfect moment. But life is inherently imperfect, and waiting for perfection only leads to stagnation. Instead, embrace the messiness of life and engage with it wholeheartedly. Purpose doesn't require perfection, it requires participation. Furthermore, when you engage deeply with life, you become more attuned to your natural talents and passions. These are often clues to your unique purpose. When you do something that brings you joy and fulfillment, you naturally excel at it and contribute positively to those around you. This creates a ripple effect where your sense of purpose not only benefits you, but also uplifts others. Ultimately, purpose is not a destination at the end of a long and arduous journey. It is a way of living, a continuous unfolding that emerges when you show up fully for life. Engage deeply, love wholeheartedly, and give generously. In doing so, you will find that purpose is not something you seek, it is something you live. Don't live your life like a checklist. Life is not a series of tasks to complete or milestones to achieve. It's a profound experience to be felt, explored, and cherished. When we fall into destination thinking, we reduce the richness of existence to a race where we are constantly looking toward the next goal, the next achievement, or the next chapter. This mindset robs us of the joy that lies in the present moment and blinds us to the beauty unfolding all around. Consider how society often conditions us to live this way. From a young age, we're told to focus on what comes next. Get good grades so you can go to a prestigious college, graduate so you can get a well-paying job, work hard so you can retire comfortably. Even in personal life, there are endless checklists. Find a partner, start a family, buy a house, and so on. The message is clear. Life is a series of steps, and your job is to climb the ladder as efficiently as possible. But here's the problem. By the time you reach one destination, your mind has already moved on to the next. Even if you achieve everything on your checklist, you may find yourself feeling strangely empty. Why? Because fulfillment doesn't come from reaching a destination. It comes from experiencing the journey fully. A life lived purely for goals is like a meal eaten in a hurry. You may fill your stomach, but you'll miss the flavors, textures, and joy that come with savoring each bite. This doesn't mean that goals are inherently bad. Goals can provide direction and motivation, but they should be like stars in the sky, guiding lights, rather than rigid checkpoints. When we become fixated on the destination, we lose our ability to be present. And when we are not present, life slips through our fingers like sand. The moments that truly matter, the laughter shared with loved ones, the awe of a beautiful sunset, the satisfaction of meaningful work, are often overlooked in a relentless pursuit of what's next. Imagine a traveler on a beautiful mountain path. If the traveler is solely focused on reaching the summit, they will likely miss the wildflowers growing by the trail, the sound of birds singing in the trees, and the fresh mountain air. And when they finally reach the top, the sense of accomplishment may be fleeting because they never allowed themselves to enjoy the journey. But if the same traveler walks with curiosity and appreciation, every step becomes meaningful. The summit is still there, but it is no longer the sole focus. It's simply part of a rich and beautiful experience. Life is no different. When we let go of destination thinking, we become free to immerse ourselves in the present. We start noticing the small joys that are often taken for granted. The warmth of a loved one's smile, the taste of a home-cooked meal, the satisfaction of a job well done. These moments may seem trivial, but they are the threads that weave a meaningful and fulfilling life. One of the greatest obstacles to living this way is the fear of falling behind. We are constantly bombarded with images of other people's successes on social media, making it easy to feel like we are not doing enough or achieving enough. But life is not a race. Each person has their own unique path, and there is no universal timeline for success or happiness. When you free yourself from the pressure to keep up with others, you can start living authentically and joyfully. Another important aspect of breaking free from destination thinking is embracing uncertainty. Life is inherently unpredictable, and clinging to rigid plans only leads to frustration and disappointment. When you release the need to control every outcome, you become open to new possibilities and experiences. Sometimes the most unexpected detours lead to the most beautiful destinations. This shift in mindset also allows you to redefine success. Instead of measuring your worth by external achievements, you begin to value the quality of your experiences and the depth of your connections. Success becomes less about ticking off boxes and more about living a life that feels true to who you are. In practical terms, this means approaching each day with curiosity and gratitude. Rather than viewing your to-do list as a burden, see it as an opportunity to engage with life. When you're working, give it your full attention. When you're with loved ones, be fully present. When you're alone, Take time to reflect and appreciate the moment. These simple shifts can transform even the most mundane tasks into meaningful experiences. In the end, life is not about arriving at a final destination. It's about how you live, love, and grow along the way. When you let go of destination thinking, you open yourself up to a life filled with wonder, joy, and meaning. And that perhaps is the most beautiful journey of all. Discover the activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, for that is where your energy naturally flows. Life is an abundant field of possibilities, and within each one of us lies a unique set of interests, passions, and talents that resonate deeply with who we are. Yet, many people go through life suppressing these inner callings, opting instead to conform to societal expectations or follow paths dictated by external pressures. This suppression creates a void, a sense of dissatisfaction and aimlessness that no amount of material success can fill. To align with what makes you come alive, you must first listen closely to yourself. In the noise of daily life, it's easy to lose touch with that inner voice that tells you what truly excites and inspires you. Take time to reflect on the moments when you feel most alive and energized. What are you doing during those moments? Are you creating something, helping others, solving a challenging problem, or perhaps immersing yourself in nature? These experiences are not random. They are clues to your unique source of fulfillment. Unfortunately, many people dismiss these clues because they believe that passion and joy are luxuries rather than necessities. They tell themselves, I don't have time for that, or it's not practical. But here's the truth. When you align with what makes you come alive, you not only experience personal fulfillment, but also become a source of inspiration and positivity for those around you. Your energy becomes contagious and your work becomes meaningful. Consider the story of a man who loved painting as a child but was discouraged from pursuing it because it was seen as impractical. He followed a conventional career path, achieved financial success, but always felt a nagging emptiness. One day, after decades of ignoring his passion, he picked up a paintbrush again. What started as a simple hobby reignited a fire within him, and he eventually transitioned to becoming a full-time artist. His work not only brought him immense joy, but also touched the lives of countless people who connected with his creations. This story is not unique. Time and again, we see examples of people who find purpose and fulfillment when they reconnect with what makes them come alive. And here's an important point. It's not about quitting your job or making drastic changes overnight. It's about integrating your passions into your life in whatever way is possible. If you love writing, start a journal. If you enjoy teaching, mentor someone. If you find joy in gardening, create a small space to nurture plants. These small steps can have a profound impact on your overall sense of well-being. Another key aspect of aligning with what makes you come alive is recognizing that passion is not always accompanied by ease. Sometimes pursuing what you love involves challenges, setbacks, and hard work. But the difference is that this kind of effort is fueled by enthusiasm rather than obligation. When you are engaged in something that resonates with your inner self, even the difficulties become meaningful. It's also important to let go of the fear of judgment. One of the biggest barriers to living authentically is the worry about what others will think. You may be hesitant to pursue your interests because they don't fit societal norms or because you're afraid of failure. But here's a liberating truth. Your life is yours to live, and no one else can dictate what will bring you fulfillment. When you stop seeking external approval and start honoring your inner desires, you become free to live authentically. Moreover, aligning with what makes you come alive often leads to unexpected opportunities. When you invest your energy in something you are passionate about, people notice, doors open, connections are made, and new paths emerge. Passion is magnetic. It draws in opportunities and resources that you may never have encountered otherwise. To cultivate this alignment, practice curiosity and experimentation. Life is not a rigid path, but a vast playground of possibilities. Try new activities, explore different interests, and don't be afraid to pivot if something doesn't resonate. Each experience, whether successful or not, brings you closer to understanding what truly makes you come alive. Finally, remember that what brings you joy and fulfillment may evolve over time. As you grow and change, your passions and interests may shift. This is natural and should be embraced. Stay attuned to these changes and continue to explore new ways of living authentically. In the end, aligning with what makes you come alive is not just a personal journey, it's a gift to the world. When you live with passion and authenticity, you inspire others to do the same. You become a beacon of joy, creativity, and purpose. And that, perhaps, is one of the greatest contributions you can make to life. A true fulfillment comes when we become givers, not just takers. Life is inherently interconnected, and every action we take has a ripple effect on the world around us. Yet modern society often emphasizes consumption and accumulation as the path to happiness. We are encouraged to acquire more possessions, more achievements, more recognition. But despite the pursuit of more, many people find themselves feeling empty and disconnected. This is because fulfillment is not found in how much we gather, but in how much we give and contribute. Giving is not limited to material generosity. It can take countless forms, each as valuable as the next. A kind word, a listening ear, a genuine smile, or simply being present for someone in need can be acts of immense generosity. The beauty of giving lies in its simplicity. No grand gestures are required. Often, the smallest acts of kindness leave the most profound impact. Why does giving lead to fulfillment? It is because it connects us to something larger than ourselves. When we shift our focus from what can I get to what can I offer, we tap into a deeper sense of purpose. Life ceases to be a solitary pursuit and becomes a shared journey where we contribute to the well-being of others and the world around us. This connection to the greater whole nourishes our spirit in ways that consumption never can. Consider the joy a teacher feels when a student finally grasps a challenging concept. The satisfaction a volunteer experiences when they see the gratitude in the eyes of those they've helped. The pride a parent feels in watching their child grow and thrive. These moments are fulfilling not because of any personal gain, but because they represent a meaningful contribution to someone else's life. Furthermore, giving shifts our mindset from scarcity to abundance. When we live solely as takers, we often operate from a place of fear of not having enough, not achieving enough, or not being enough. But when we give freely and generously, we reinforce the belief that there is always enough to go around. We experience the truth that life is abundant and that by sharing our resources, time, and talents, we create a more enriched world for everyone. It's essential to understand that contribution doesn't require perfection or grand gestures. You don't need to be wealthy, famous, or influential to make a meaningful impact. Each person has unique gifts to offer, and the act of giving begins with recognizing and sharing those gifts. Whether it's your creativity, compassion, wisdom, or simply your presence, your contributions matter. Giving also creates a ripple effect. When you act generously, you inspire others to do the same. This creates a chain reaction of kindness and positivity that can transform communities and even the world. Imagine a workplace where colleagues support and uplift each other rather than compete. Picture a neighborhood where people look out for one another and share their time and resources. These environments are born from the spirit of contribution and thrive because of it. On a personal level, contributing to others fosters a sense of gratitude. When you witness the impact of your generosity, you gain a greater appreciation for what you have. Gratitude, in turn, enhances your overall well being and helps you navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. It's important to recognize that giving is not about sacrificing yourself to the point of exhaustion. Healthy giving comes from a place of balance where you nurture your own well being while contributing to others. When you are in a state of abundance, whether emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, you naturally have more to give. This creates a positive cycle where giving and receiving flow harmoniously. To cultivate a life of contribution, start by asking yourself simple questions. How can I add value today? Who can I help or support? What small act of kindness can I offer? These questions shift your focus from consumption to contribution and open the door to countless opportunities for meaningful interactions. As you begin to live with a mindset of giving, you'll notice a profound transformation. Life will feel richer, more connected, and deeply fulfilling. Your contributions, no matter how small, will create ripples of positivity that extend far beyond what you can see. And in those moments, you'll realize that true fulfillment doesn't come from what you accumulate, it comes from what you give. In the hustle and chaos of modern life, many people become disconnected from themselves. Their identity becomes entangled with external roles, expectations, and societal definitions of success. They are a partner, a parent, an employee, a student, or a community member. But who are they at their core? Amidst the noise and demands of daily living, it's easy to forget this fundamental question. But true fulfillment begins when we take the journey inward, exploring and understanding ourselves at the deepest level. Self-awareness is the compass that guides us through life's complexities. Without it, we are like a ship adrift at sea, carried by the winds of external influence without any clear direction. When we cultivate self-awareness, we gain clarity about our values, passions, fears, and desires. We understand what brings us joy, what drains our energy, and what aligns with our authentic self. This understanding empowers us to make choices that lead to a more meaningful and intentional life. But how do we cultivate this awareness? The first step is to slow down and create space for reflection. In a world that values constant productivity and instant gratification, pausing can feel counterintuitive or even uncomfortable. Yet it is in these moments of stillness that we can hear our inner voice. Whether through meditation, journaling, or simply spending time alone in nature, finding time for introspection is essential for reconnecting with ourselves. As we engage in this process, we may encounter uncomfortable truths. Perhaps we realize that we are pursuing a career path that no longer resonates with us, or maintaining relationships that are draining rather than nurturing. These realizations can be challenging, but they are also liberating. They give us the opportunity to realign our lives with our authentic selves. It's also important to question the narratives we have inherited. From childhood, we are conditioned by cultural, familial, and societal expectations that shape our beliefs and behaviors. While some of these influences may serve us well, others may limit us or lead us away from our true selves. By examining these narratives and consciously choosing which ones to keep and which to let go, we reclaim our power and authenticity. Another crucial aspect of self-awareness is embracing our imperfections. Many people fear looking inward because they are afraid of what they might find. They believe they must be flawless to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. But the truth is that our imperfections are what make us beautifully human. When we accept ourselves fully, flaws and all, we cultivate self-compassion and create a solid foundation for growth. Moreover, self-awareness helps us navigate relationships more authentically. When we understand our own needs, boundaries, and triggers, we can communicate more effectively and form healthier connections with others. We become less reactive and more responsive, fostering relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding. Self-awareness also opens the door to personal growth and transformation. When we know ourselves deeply, we can identify areas where we want to grow and take intentional steps toward becoming the best version of ourselves. This growth is not about becoming someone different, but about peeling away the layers that obscure our true essence. It's worth noting that self-awareness is not a one-time achievement, but an ongoing journey. As we navigate different stages of life, our inner landscape evolves. What was true for us in our 20s may no longer be relevant in our 40s. This is natural and should be embraced. Staying curious and open to self-discovery allows us to adapt and thrive in the face of change. Additionally, self-awareness is not about becoming self-absorbed. On the contrary, it enables us to show up more fully for others. When we are grounded in who we are, we can offer genuine support, empathy, and presence to those around us. We are no longer seeking validation from others because we are secure in our own identity. To begin this journey of self-awareness, ask yourself meaningful questions. What truly matters to me? What brings me joy and fulfillment? What beliefs are guiding my decisions and are they serving me? Reflect on these questions regularly and be willing to explore the answers with honesty and curiosity. As you deepen your understanding of yourself, you will find a sense of peace and clarity that external achievements cannot provide. Life becomes less about meeting expectations and more about living authentically and intentionally. And in this authenticity, you discover a profound sense of purpose and fulfillment. For when you know yourself deeply, you can navigate life with confidence, resilience, and a heart that is fully alive. Life is inherently dynamic, filled with highs and lows, triumphs and setbacks, moments of joy and periods of uncertainty. Many people cling tightly to their expectations and plans, hoping to maintain a sense of control and predictability. But the truth is, life is unpredictable and rigidity only leads to frustration and suffering. True fulfillment comes when we embrace the flow of life with openness, curiosity, and adaptability. Imagine a river flowing through diverse landscapes, sometimes calm and serene, other times wild and turbulent. The river doesn't resist the rocks or try to control the direction of its current. It flows around obstacles, finding new pathways as it journeys toward the vast ocean. Life, much like that river, requires us to be fluid and adaptable. When we resist change or cling to fixed expectations, we become stagnant, unable to move forward or appreciate the beauty of the present moment. Letting go of rigidity begins with releasing the illusion of control. Many people spend their lives meticulously planning every detail, hoping to avoid discomfort or failure. While planning and preparation have their place, life often unfolds in ways that we cannot predict. Clinging to rigid expectations only sets us up for disappointment. However, when we approach life with an open mind and a willingness to adapt, we find that even unexpected detours can lead to meaningful and beautiful experiences. Take, for example, someone who loses their job unexpectedly. At first, the loss may feel devastating, but it can also be a catalyst for growth and new opportunities. Perhaps it leads them to pursue a passion they had long ignored, start a business, or relocate to a place where they discover newfound happiness. By embracing the flow of life rather than resisting it, they transform a challenging situation into a transformative experience. Embracing the flow of life also requires us to be present. Often we become so fixated on the future, trying to control outcomes and predict what lies ahead, that we miss the richness of the present moment. But life is happening now, not in some distant future. When we immerse ourselves fully in the present, we discover joy, connection, and meaning in even the simplest experiences. This mindset doesn't mean passively accepting everything that comes our way. It means responding to life's challenges with wisdom and flexibility rather than reacting out of fear or resistance. It's about recognizing that while we may not control what happens to us, we do have control over how we respond, and that response can make all the difference. One of the greatest lessons in embracing the flow of life is learning to find beauty in impermanence. Everything in life is temporary. Our successes, our challenges, our relationships, and even our time on this earth. When we cling to the idea that things should remain constant, we set ourselves up for disappointment. But when we accept impermanence as a natural part of life, we learn to appreciate each moment for what it is and let go when the time comes. This acceptance also applies to our own personal growth. Who you are today is not who you will be tomorrow. Embracing change within yourself allows you to evolve and adapt in ways that align with your authentic self. It frees you from the pressure to fit into outdated versions of yourself and opens the door to new possibilities. A practical way to cultivate this mindset is to practice gratitude and reflection. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect on what went well, what you learned, and what you are grateful for. This practice helps you stay attuned to the positive aspects of life and builds resilience for navigating challenges. It shifts your focus from what is missing or out of your control to the abundance that already exists. Additionally, cultivating mindfulness through meditation or simple breathing exercises can help you stay present and adaptable. When you find yourself caught up in worry or resistance, grounding yourself in the present moment allows you to respond with clarity and composure. Another key aspect of embracing life's flow is cultivating trust. Trust in yourself, in the people around you, and in the unfolding of life itself. This doesn't mean that everything will always go according to plan or that you won't face difficulties. It means believing that you have the inner strength and resilience to navigate whatever comes your way. It means trusting that life has a rhythm and wisdom beyond what we can always understand. As you develop this mindset, you'll find that life becomes less about controlling outcomes and more about enjoying the journey. You become free to explore, create, and connect and experience life in its fullest expression. Challenges become opportunities for growth, and change becomes a gateway to new possibilities. In the end, embracing the flow of life is about living with openness, curiosity, and a deep sense of trust. When you release the need to control and instead dance with the rhythm of life, you discover a profound sense of peace, resilience, and fulfillment. And that perhaps is the most beautiful and liberating way to live. In the grand tapestry of existence, the purpose of life is not a rigid destination but a dynamic and evolving journey. It's about discovering yourself, nurturing meaningful connections, contributing to the world, and embracing the ever-changing rhythms of life with an open heart and mind. When you align with your passions, cultivate self-awareness, give generously, and flow with life's uncertainties, fulfillment naturally follows. So, dear friends, let us live intentionally and authentically, with curiosity guiding our steps and love fueling our actions. The world doesn't need us to be perfect, it needs us to be present, vibrant, and alive in the pursuit of meaning. And as we navigate this beautiful journey, may we find joy, peace, and purpose in every step we take. Thank you.